Welcome back. All right, 5 games to talk about from tonight. If you're looking for a review of the Montreal Buffalo game, that's already on the channel. I've still got the Hartford Whalers banner up there, which makes it worse that I said Halifax for the Wolfpack today. No idea. No idea. It's just one of those things that just I don't even remember saying it. So as you get older, that does tend to happen. So, anyways, let us go ahead and talk about the San Jose Sharks and the Portland Flyers. Why don't I just call them Portland? I'm kidding, of course. The Philadelphia Flyers at home. It's Vanacek versus Ersson. There's an early press by the Sharks, but on their first shot, Philadelphia scores. It is Eric Johnson from Richard at 139. And then on the following face-off, Giovanni Smith has a fight with Eric Johnson. So I was like, all right, so he's an assist away from the Gordie Howe hat trick. He does not get the Gordie Howe hat trick. Strong forechecking by the Sharks. The Flyers then press at 5.5 minutes. They're kept to the outside. The shots are 4-3 Philly, 6 minutes in. Zetterlund has a net drive. That gets blocked. Celebrini has a rush chance that's held. The Sharks press at 8 minutes. Too many men on the ice for Philly, so the Sharks have the power play there. That's killed off. It had some chances, however. Then we get a power play for the Flyers. That's killed off. Sharks press with 5.5 minutes left. The Flyers go back to the power play, and they score on this one. It's Konechny. It was a good cycle. Konechny buries it. Michkov and Andre with the assists at 15:56. And I like hearing that Emil Andre's impressed people, and he might be sticking around. So it's 2-0 Philly after the first. Second period, Andre has a blast. That's held. Konechny misses an open net. It wasn't the only time he did that in that period either. Shots are 3-1 for the Flyers at 4.5 minutes. And then at 5:09, Michkov on a turnover breakaway. He goes 5-hole. Paling and Zamula with the assists. So they just get that fast break going. And it looks like Michkov being benched might have been the best for him. He had a goal and an assist already in the game. Shots are 7-2 for the Flyers at 8 minutes. Andre has a net drive that's saved. The Flyers press with 9 minutes left. We then had a fight between Barclay Goodrow and Nick Seeler. Flyers are controlling the puck. They're controlling the pace until Thompson has one go in off the outside of his skate. Eklund and Granlund with the assists at 15:29 makes it 3-1. Flyers press to respond, but at 18:32 on a pass from behind the net, Granlund buries one. Eklund and Zetterlund with the assists. It's 3-2 for Philly after 2. Third period, early jump for the Flyers. Zetterlund with a near miss on a rush. Flyers press at 3 minutes. We get a power play for the Flyers. There's a shorthanded rush by Cunnin. That save power play is killed off. The shots are 8-3 for Philly at 7 minutes. The Sharks press are kept to the outside. There's a power play for San Jose. Near miss for Goudreau. That power play is killed off. The Sharks press with 3.5 minutes left, and eventually they tie it. Barclay Goudreau buries one from the side of the net at 17:36. Thrun and Ceci with the assists. I think the highlight for me was I was watching the San Jose feed. They showed a Sharks fan celebrating when they tied it. You could see a Flyers fan just off to what would be their left, our right, watching on TV. If you can read lips, man. Yeah, I can't say what she said, but I thought it was one of the funniest things. I did, because I'm sure there were some Flyer fans when this became tied that were thinking the same thing, like, this team isn't very good and I'm not enjoying watching this. I'm paraphrasing. There was some cursing, and I got a kick out of it. Anyway, so we go to overtime. The Sharks had a full power play to start, so that didn't make the fans happy. San Jose controls the puck, but that power play does get killed off. Eklund has a 2-on-1 chance that's blocked. Then there's a toe save on Andre. We end up going to the shootout. In the shootout, the Flyers, they escape with 2 points thanks to goals by Michkov and Konechny. They win this one 4-3 in the shootout. They go to 6-8-2 with the shootout loss. San Jose 5-9-3. In every game, they're starting to show they're not the worst team in the league anymore. Those days appear to be gone for this year. And yeah, look at the shots. 11 apiece in the first, and then Philly kind of takes over. 14-8 in the second, 16-7 in the third. But in the overtime, San Jose outshoots Philly 5-2. They went for that steal. Final shots 43-31 for Philly. Power plays San Jose 0 for 3. Philadelphia 1 for 3. The hits 23-21 Philly. Vanacek saved 40 out of 43, and Ersson saved 28 out of 31. Interesting note too. This broke the app again. So I had to go on the NHL website on my laptop here in order to see those stats, because when I try to load it on the actual app on my phone, I get an error. That's 3 Flyers games in a row where once the game goes final, you can't see it. You're not allowed. It's private. How dare you, sir? How dare you? Anyways, That being said, the second game we're going to talk about is Dallas and Pittsburgh. My lord. You know, you would think that me being a Dallas fan that I'd be laughing and giggling about this. I was just in shock. So it's Ottinger versus Bloomquist. Early jump for the Penguins. Achari's denied and close. And then at 2:33, Duchesne puts one through Bloomquist on a rush. Smith and Marchment with the assists. The shots are 2-1 Dallas at 5 minutes. And at 7:13, Stankoven puts a wrister past a screen from the left circle. Ben and Lindell with the assists. It's 2-0 Dallas. Stars look for another, and they find it. Marchment buries one in close. Brendan Smith with the assist at 10:16. I think this was Brendan Smith's 700th game. I know there was something on social media about it being an even number. I think it was his 700th game, and he gets a couple of assists. So that means Nedeljkovic is in the net. This may give an excuse to Kyle Dubas to send Bloomquist to the AHL briefly if he wants to, and say, oh, well, he had a rough night, and go back to Ned and maybe Jari, but we'll see what they do. Malkin has a beast mode chance that's held, and it felt like after 3-0, Pittsburgh finally gets things going, and they've woken up a bit, but at 13:09, from a sharp angle on a cycle, Heiskanen buries one, Marchment and Lindell with the assists, and Heiskanen enjoyed that first goal of the season so much, he scores at 14:37. That is 5 goals for Dallas on 10 shots on net. 1:49 left. The Stars get a power play, and they score on it via a 2-on-1 rush. The Penguins had a rush. Letang pinched for that, and they pay at the other end. Sagan scores on the power play from Marchment at 18:39. So for Mason Marchment, that's 4 points in the first period. For Dallas, it's 6 goals in the first period. I only have 8 of these goal magnets with the old Stars magnet, Stars logo, and so I was getting concerned. I was like, all right, if they score 18, I'm going to have to start like drawing them by hand. So second period, the lone shot 3 minutes in is for Dallas. The Penguins press at 6 minutes. Stars press back at 6.5. The shots are 5-1 Penguins at 8.5 minutes. We get a power play for the Penguins. There's a shorthanded rush by Hintz that's saved, but the Boo Birds were out because that power play was kind of disjointed. Fans unhappy once that was killed. But at 15:03, Beauvillier gets his first point at home this season on a goal. Puustinen and St. Ivany with the assist. It was a nice setup by Puustinen there as well. Makes it 6-1. We then get a power play for Dallas. That's killed off. It's 6-1 after 2. Third period. There's a shoulder save on a Johnston rush chance. Despite all of these points tonight for Dallas, it took a while before Johnston got on the board. The fans call one. The referee does not. There's a mask save and out on Dodonov. Penguins press at 4 minutes. Harley nearly own goals one. The Stars press at 7 minutes. The shots are 8-7 Dallas at the half. We then get a power play for Dallas. That's killed off with 6:38 left. They get another. Johnston's denied. Nedeljkovic holds. That's killed off, but that's 2 more minutes off the clock. And then at 15:10, Johnston scores from Duchesne and Marchment. And then just to make sure that they preserve the no mercy magnet, Stars pressed with a minute and a half left. They win 7-1. They go to 9-5 with the win. With the loss, Pittsburgh 6-9-2. This feels like a game where we could see a coaching change. It does. It feels like a game where we could see a coaching change because it's so lopsided. Pittsburgh really wanted to be in the chase for the playoffs this year. We're now 17 games into their season. It feels like if that change was going to happen, we could see it. And I'm only saying could and maybe because I'd be very surprised if Sullivan gets fired. Shots on net, 12-7 Dallas in the first, 10-6 Dallas in the second, 18-8 Dallas in the third. Final shots, 40-21 for the Stars. Power plays, Dallas 2 for 4, Pittsburgh 0 for 1. The hits, 16-12 Pittsburgh. Ottinger wasn't busy, but he was good. 20 saves on 21 shots. Bloomquist saves 5 out of 8. And then Nedeljkovic saves 28 out of 32. So, rough night for Pittsburgh. Let me know your thoughts on what you think needs to change. And LA and the Flames. So the Flames continue to defy gravity. I've talked about this lately, and I think it's great. Honestly do. While I may not be a Flames fan, when the Flames are competitive and you've got 3 good Western Canadian teams, I think that's fun for hockey. So it's Kemper versus Wolf. They had a nice ceremony beforehand for Remembrance Day, because Canada. I'm not wearing my poppy. Let me go ahead and remedy that, because it is my last Remembrance Day video. All right, fixed. Left side always over the heart. So they had taps. That brings me back. Yeah, it's a long story. But yeah, taps really brings me back to my childhood. So early jump for the Flames. If you live near a Canadian military base, you know what I'm talking about. So the Kings press at a minute and a half. Do they still do that? Do they still play taps at a certain point in the night? And do they still play Reveille in the morning? Anyways. So the shots are 2-0 Flames at 3.5 minutes. The Flames press at 7 minutes. There's more pressure by them 7 minutes in. The Kings did not start on time. Too many men on the ice. Flames get a power play. Another sign that the Kings are just out of sorts. That leads to a shorthanded rush by Moore. That power play's killed off. The Flames had 3 shots on that. Shots are 7-0 Calgary at the half. Sharon Govich is denied and close. The teams exchange rushes. Fiala's robbed on a breakaway with 1:30 left. The Flames get a power play, so that runs to the end of the first period. It is a scoreless first period. Second period, Kings finish the kill. Kempe has a slot shot that deflects out. The shots on net are 2-1 Calgary, 3.5 minutes in. Flames press are kept to the outside. The teams exchange rushes. Kirkland's denied. There's a brief press after that. Huberdeau fires one wide from the slot. The shots are 8-2 for Calgary, 9.5 minutes in. They just wanted it more. And at 10:42 on a turnover, Backlund buries one pretty quickly, unassisted, and so it's 1-0 Calgary. And then pretty quickly after that, at 11:16, Huberdeau wires one on a breakaway. Kuzmenko and Wolf with the assist, so I believe that's Wolf's first NHL point. Hellenius then had a fight with Kirkland, so that's his first NHL fight. Things are pushy on a hold by Wolf. The Kings press with 4.5 minutes left. They had opportunities to get the shots close by the end of the period, but it's 2-0 Calgary after 2. Third period, Flames press at a minute and a half. The Kings then get some pressure on their next shift. Kempe's denied on a rush. The shots on net are actually 3-1 LA at 5 minutes in the third period. LA had some momentum, but Wolf was fantastic. Wolf is getting more and more comfortable at the NHL level. They made the right call in moving Markstrom. Wolf definitely ready. He's their starter. Flames press with 9.5 minutes left. Anderson has a net feed that's caught and held. That's Mikey Anderson, not Rasmus Anderson. Thus the not double S's. Shots are 9-4 Kings with 5.5 minutes left. The Kings go to 4 forwards and 1 defenseman. This seems to be a new style now for Coach Jim Thompson, where when the Kings are down late, he goes with 4 forwards. It hasn't hurt them yet. It is an interesting way of looking at it because, of course, we know on power plays you go 4 forwards and 1 defenseman. I haven't seen it 5-on-5 before. If you are one who believes that positionless hockey is the future, this is something that will probably please you greatly. So the Kings press with 4 minutes left. They pull the goalie with 2:45 left. Things are punchy on a hold by Wolf, and then at 17:29, after all the punching's gone on, they do a review to see whether or not Wolf did save it, and eventually he held it outside the line, but his glove crosses the line. The puck crossed the line at the very least. Moore gets that goal from Kopitar and Byfield, and it spoils the shutout. But the LA Kings also go to the power play because of the punching that went on the hold by Wolf as well. So it's a double whammy. Goes from 2-0 to 2-1, and the Kings are on the power play. So the Flames do kill that off, and then when they're back to 6-on-5, Rooney hits the empty net from Backlund and Coronado at 19:41. So it got tense late, but the Flames win this one. They go to 8-5-3 with the win. The Kings drop to 9-5-3 with the loss. Shots on net, 10-7 Calgary in the first, 12-11 Calgary in the second, 11-6 LA in the third. Final shots, 29-28 for the Kings. Power plays, LA 0-for-1. Calgary 0-for-2. The hits, 25-23 for the Kings. Kemper saves 25 out of 27. Wolf saves 28 out of 29. So, yeah, both goaltenders were pretty good. Wolf was just that little bit better. All right, next up, New Jersey, Nashville, and Colorado. So the Avs are back to 500. Let's see how they get there. So it's Saros versus Georgiev, and 1 minute and 45 seconds in, during a delayed call, Evangelista scores from Delgaizo and Tomasino, which I believe is on their first shot. So tough start for Georgiev, but he had his best game of the season tonight. McKinnon nearly answers. The shots are 3-2 Nashville, 4 minutes in. There's a press by the Preds around 5 minutes into that first period. Power play drawn by Colorado. That's killed off. Just the one shot on net for the Avalanche during that. Forsberg's denied from the slot. There's a press by Nashville with 6 minutes left. There's a near miss for McKinnon on a rush. And in the final minute, Nashville gets some pressure. So after the first period, it's 1-0. Nashville probably felt pretty good about the game at that point. Second period, Shen has a one-timer that's held. We get a power play for the Avs. Makar fires one wide, and then after the power play comes to an end, Taves scores from Girard at 4:32 to tie the game. There's a post for McKinnon as now the Avs are pushing for the lead. There's momentum for them, and the Predators get pinned down for a little bit there. Rantanen has a wrist shot that's caught and held. The Avs press with 9.5 minutes left. And at 11:37, Rantanen goes short side from the right circle. Kivi Ranta and McKinnon with the assists. Colorado has their first lead of the game. Then we get a power play for Nashville. Things are pushed and a hold by Georgiev during that. That is killed off by Colorado. Middlestad's denied on a 2-on-1 rush. We get a press by Nashville with 4 minutes left. And there's some late momentum for the Preds, but they come out of that second period down 2-1. That does not last. 59 seconds into the third period, Sissons buries one from the side of the net. Yossi with the assist. That makes it a 2-2 tie. Teams exchange turnovers. The Preds say there were too many Avs on the ice. There was no call on the play. Shots are 2 apiece at 4.5 minutes. The Avs press at 5.5 minutes. O'Connor has a chance that's caught and held. There's more pressure by Colorado, 8.5 minutes in. We get a power play for Nashville. That leads to the referee being informed that he sucks, because how else is he going to know? That power play is killed off, so all is forgiven. No? All right. McKinnon has a net drive that's held. The Avs press with 5 minutes left. Nashville with some pressure with 3 minutes left. Yossi nearly gives the Preds the lead, but it is 2-2. We're going to overtime. Avs control early. Makar has a shot that deflects out. Nyquist then had a chance at the other end. That's held. Stamkos with a net drive that gets blocked. And then at 2:46 on a breakaway, Samuel Girard gets the goal that is the winner. The score is 3-2 in overtime for Colorado. They go to 8-8 with the win. With the overtime loss, Nashville's now 5-9-2 on the season. Shots on net, 12-6 Nashville in the first, 13-9 Nashville in the second, 15-5 Colorado in the third, 2-1 Colorado in the overtime, including the shot that matters. Final shots 32-31 for the Avs. Power plays, both teams go 0 for 2. The hits 23-18 Nashville. Saros saves 29 out of 32, and Georgiev saved 29 out of 31. Just that one shot difference. One shot difference in the overtime. Fun story. All right, next up. Vegas is no longer undefeated at home. They were the only team that had not tasted defeat at home. Now they have, and I'm sure it tastes pretty bitter. So it's Kochetkov versus Hill. Seth Jarvis was not in the lineup for the Carolina Hurricanes. Dorofeev has a net feed. That's picked off. Blake's denied on a net drive. And then at 4:24, Robinson. It's a point shot that deflects 5-hole. Robinson credited with the goal. Walker and Kokaniemi with the assists on that. Vegas presses at 6 minutes. The shots are 5-2, though, for Carolina. 7 minutes in. Carolina played a much better game tonight than their last one. Canes press at the half. There's a post for Howden on a fast break. Vegas presses with 8.5 minutes left. But at 12:46, Kokaniemi buries his own rebound in close to make it 2-0. Natchez and Robinson with the assists. So there's Robinson with more points. He's been a really good find for Carolina. We get a power play for the Canes. That's killed off. The Canes press with 2.5 minutes left. And in the final minute, Vegas has some pressure of their own. So it's 2-0 Carolina after 1. Second period. There's an early press by Vegas. Svechnikov then has a wrist shot that's held. The Canes press at 3 minutes. We get a power play for Vegas. And then on a Shea Theodore turnover, don't put the puck into your own slot, because Jordan Stahl's going to go in and bury it, as he does at 3:38. Makes it 3-0. And then more importantly, the Canes finish the kill. At 6:13, Jost then scores from Slavin. Those are goals on back-to-back shots for Carolina. And that means Aiden Hill's night's done. Akira Schmid makes his first regular season appearance for the Vegas Golden Knights. Nice to see him getting a chance with Samsonov out with injury. I wanted to say Samsonov. Said Samsonov. I got it. Then we get a power play for the Canes. That's killed off. 3 shots on net. So Schmid is busy there. Canes press with 8 minutes left. The shots are 10-7 Carolina with 4 minutes left. Pearson then has a shot that's held as Vegas is pushing, trying to get on the board. Schwintz denied and close with 6.8 seconds left. Carolina gets power play. So after 2 periods of play, it's 4-0, but it's Vegas, and they're at home, so I never count them out. Third period, Vegas does finish the kill. Dorofeev then has a net feed that's held. Vegas presses at 4 minutes. Eventually they score. Eichel scores from Barbashev at 6 minutes and 11 seconds. He buries that one from the left circle. Shots are 5-3 Vegas at 7.5 minutes. Vegas draws a power play, and then a costly penalty makes it 4-on-4. Everything gets killed off there. Then there's a press by Vegas with 7.5 minutes left. The goalie pull happens with 5:54 left, and Carolina hits the empty net. It's Martinuk from Stahl at 14:28 to make it 5-1. With 1:52 left, Vegas gets a power play. They do score on it to make the score a little bit closer. Barbashev from Holtz and Eichel at 19:47. So Eichel still gets 2 points tonight. So does Barbashev. but Carolina wins 5-2. They go to 11-3 on the season. Vegas drops to 9-4-2. So they lost a chance to get some ground, gain some ground, I should say, on the Kings. Shots on net, 16-4, Carolina in the first, 13-11, Vegas in the second, 16-7, Vegas in the third. Final shots are 34-33 for Carolina. Power plays, Carolina 0-4, Vegas 1-3. The hits, 26-13 for Vegas. Carolina's not a big hitter. Kochetkov, 31 saves on 33 shots. Adin Hill, 17 saves on 21 shots. Schmid saved all 10 shots in relief. So there you go. You're all caught up on tonight's action. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, as always. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe in the event you may not have done so already. Thank you guys so much for all your support. I will talk to you again soon.